If you're dealing with connective tissue problems, maybe you have a chronic injury, or maybe you're seeing frequent connective tissue injuries and it's kind of happening over and over again, or maybe you just have something that won't heal right. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps you can take to correct that issue and help you understand what's going on in the first place. The weird thing is that these things are actually going to make sense. That's crazy, right? You don't want to miss this.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
Now, just to clarify, what we're going to talk about today does not cover all joint pain. Now, if you're having arthritis or some other type of joint pain, there can be other causes beyond what we're going to talk about today. What we're really going to focus on here is when someone's having connective tissue issues, and maybe those connective tissues seem to be weak and the injuries are frequent, or maybe it just is not healing the way that it should. So when we're looking at those problems, there really are 2 main factors that are usually at play, or at least contributing to the problem. And that's either that the body does not have the resources it needs to build or rebuild or repair those tissues, or it's not moving into the state that the body needs to get in to do that repair or rebuilding. So to build, rebuild, or repair connective tissues, we really need resources. The body needs resources to do that. Just like if you were going to build a house, you would need resources. You would need bricks or wood or nails or whatever you're going to build the house out of. You would need those resources to build it. Otherwise, your housewarming party is going to be a bunch of people eating egg salad in your yard. So anytime you're going to build something, you need resources to build it with. So the body does too. When we're looking at improving, rebuilding, strengthening, or repairing any type of connective tissues, what's really important are amino acids to the body. These are like the foundational building blocks for when we rebuild tissue. So what we need to look at is we need to understand that if someone's having any type of digestive symptoms at all, they're very likely not breaking down the food that they're eating to these elemental nutrients that the body can use. All these amino acids and all the amino acid cofactors that go along with those that the body needs to rebuild. So if you're dealing with burping or bloating or constipation or diarrhea or acid reflux or nausea or even skin issues, those are all really strong signs that there's a digestive malfunction that could be restricting your ability to access the nutrients in that food and utilize the nutrients in that food. That's why we eat the food. We want to access all those minerals and vitamins and amino acids, all that good stuff that's in the food, so the body can use it for all the purposes it needs to use it. One of those purposes is rebuilding and repairing connective tissue. So when we eat food, our stomachs make hydrochloric acid, or HCl, and this HCl is meant to start breaking down our proteins. It's meant to acidify our food so it can start to break down, but it really focuses on breaking down our proteins into these amino acid building blocks. The problem is, it's really common for people not to be making enough stomach acid today. And if a person isn't making enough stomach acid, they'll break down that food partially by process of rotting and fermenting. So they're not really accessing all of those resources that the body needs to rebuild and repair. Once the food is acidified properly in the stomach, it leaves the stomach and goes down to the duodenum, where the gallbladder squirts this alkaline bile down onto the acid product that left the stomach. And when we see this acid product meeting the alkaline bile, it creates this sizzle. And this sizzle is what really busts all that food apart and helps us get all the nutrients out of that food. The problem is it's really common for someone's bile to become too thick and sticky to flow correctly. So if either a person isn't making enough stomach acid or their bile is not flowing correctly, they're really not able to access all those nutrients in the food. So with either chronic connective tissue injuries or problems or an inability for connective tissue to heal correctly, we often see this problem where the body just doesn't have access to the resources it needs to rebuild those tissues. So it's very often either the problem or at least a contributing factor. The second big problem that we see is the body's inability to move into the state where it does its rebuilding and repairing. Dr. Emanuel Rivisi helped us understand that at the cellular level, our body has a natural circadian rhythm. So during the day, our cells are in a more catabolic state. This is where our body is really good at creating energy and breaking down debris so we can get rid of all this junk and lose all the metabolic waste the body needs to get rid of. So this is an appropriate state for us to be during the day. And at night, our cells will move into a more anabolic state. And this is where our body is really good at engaging in restful sleep, and while it handles all of its repairing and rebuilding processes. So you can see that both of these states are appropriate. They're both beneficial. We really want both to happen. Where the trouble comes in is when somebody gets stuck in one of these states most of the time, and they're not moving back and forth from day to night like they should be. So if someone is stuck in this overly catabolic state most of the time, or maybe they're just pushed way too far into that state, then the body is basically in its breaking down mode all the time, or it's too severely breaking down, which can lead to tissues being very easy to damage or to create injuries, or an inability for them to repair and rebuild. Now you can see that this catabolic state is appropriate. We want tissues to break down so that they can be rebuilt. But if you're constantly tearing everything down and you're never repairing, rebuilding, or re-strengthening, then you're going to create some injuries, or the injuries that you do create are going to stick around for quite a long time. This overly catabolic state is also where we often see issues like rheumatoid arthritis, where there's like no connective tissue. It's like bone on bone kind of situation, because these connective tissues have just been breaking down while the person is stuck in this overly catabolic state, and they never move into the rebuild and repair mode. So this seems to be common with that particular issue. What you don't want to do is say, oh, I have a lot of connective tissue issues, so I must be overly catabolic. I must be stuck in this catabolic state. You don't want to go off of symptoms when you're talking about your body chemistry. You really want to look at your bioindividuality and figure out, am I leaning too far in this direction or not? So in my book, Kick Your Fat in the Nuts, we teach people how to run simple self-tests at home using tools you can pick up at a pharmacy or a health food store. And that'll help you understand, am I leaning too far on this catabolic side? And if I am, what steps can I take to improve that? And the book is available on Amazon, but I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can get the whole book for free. We'll just get you the whole thing. And if you're not a reader, I can't be bothered. I don't want to be sitting there reading a book all day. We also have a totally free digestion course that'll walk you through those same steps of figuring out your bioindividuality. And we'll put the link to that totally free course in the description below. So when you're looking to improve connective tissue issues, those 3 steps that we talked about are: number 1, fix any digestive issues. If there's digestive malfunctions going on, you need to correct them so that your body has the building blocks it needs. And step number 2 is, if there's a catabolic imbalance, you want to improve that so at night the body can move into that anabolic state and move into that rebuild and repair mode that it's supposed to do while you're sleeping every night. And step number 3 is to cheat a little bit. Supply your body with some easy to access nutrients. Great ways to do this is to use a grass-fed beef collagen powder. That's a great way to do that. There's a variety of really good ones out on the market. Or you can make some bone broth with grass-fed beef marrow bones. You can throw some organic chicken bones in there too, but the organic or the grass-fed beef marrow bones is really going to give you access to a lot of those amino acids that you need, and the amino acid cofactors that are hard to get from other sources. So just make your own bone broth, or there's some good grass-fed frozen ones that you can find in the health food store sometimes. Those are okay. Just don't get the ones in the carton, because those don't seem to be that effective and hold that many great nutrients and have a lot of other preservatives and junk in them. So you really want to make your own bone broth. If you don't have access to grass-fed marrow bones in your area, we'll put a link in the description below where you can have some shipped to your house. So the world is different. We don't have to be restricted. You can pretty much access anything you need to by having somebody ship it to your door. So if you are concerned that you may be leaning too far on that catabolic side, we'll also put a link to our video, Understanding a Catabolic Imbalance, in the description below so you can check that out. For now, if you're having any type of digestive issues, check out our video on understanding digestive issues so you can get more insights into what may be going on with the issues there. I can't wait to hear about your results.